Hi guys, this is Mary. Welcome back to Cardz TV. In my last video, I showed you a card in a box or a box card that I made using a file that I got in the Silhouette store, and it was full of little pink flowers. Well, today I've made one without using a Silhouette file, and I used my Cricut to cut some little shamrocks to go inside, and this is the one I just finished. I think it turned out really cute. I just kind of went shamrock crazy and filled it full of shamrocks and even added some to the outside flaps. So I'm going to get everything we'll need and show you how I made this little card. We'll start out with a piece of cardstock that I've cut 5 inches by 9 inches, and on the long side we're going to do some scoring, and we're going to score this at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8, and 8 1/2. And that's down the long edge. Then we're going to turn it to the short side, and we're going to score it at 2 3/4. Now, I don't know how well you can see the score marks. This is the short side of the 2 3/4 inch score line, and we've got our 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8, and 8 1/2. And I'm just going to take my scissors and cut each one of these score marks up to that 2 3/4 inch score line. Now on this last piece right here at the 8 1/2 inch score line, we're just going to trim this little piece right out. And this is going to be the flap that closes our box. So we'll go ahead and get that folded. We're going to put some score tape right here. If you don't have score tape, you can use any kind of double-sided tape. And I'll burnish this so the backing will come off easier. And then we're just going to fold this at the 4 1/4 line. Make sure our edges are lined up. And this makes our little box. And now we can go ahead and fold down our flaps. And you can see this back flap stays solid. And just bend all your lines there, just like that. I've cut 7 pieces of my paper, and this time I'm using striped paper. And I cut these at 2 inches by 2 1/8. And I'm going to cover all these flaps, just like that. And then I'm going to close it up and cover these as well on all sides, and then put one right in here. So I'll grab my ATG gun and start covering all these little flaps. Okay, that was 7 pieces of the 2 by 2 1/8 striped paper for the 3 flaps right here, and also the underneath of the 3 flaps, as well as this solid back piece. Now, to cover the very back, and this is where you'll put your sentiment, I've cut another piece of the striped paper, and this one is 2 inches by 4 7/8. That's going to go right there. And then I cut another piece of the white, and this is for putting your sentiment, whatever you're going to stamp or write on here. And this is cut at 1 3/4 by 4 5/8. I'm going to adhere these two together and put these on the very back. Okay, I've got all my flaps covered, and I've got the piece on the back, and I probably should have already stamped my sentiment, but I forgot, so I'll have to think of some way to stamp on there. Now we're going to cover these 3 bottom areas, and I've cut 3 more pieces, and these are 2 by 2 5/8, and I'm going to get those adhered. And my ATG gun ran out of tape, so I'm just going to use this little glue runner. Okay, we've got our box card all covered, and now it's time to put the inserts in here, which will hold our little shamrocks, or if you want to do balloons or stars or flowers, whatever you'd like to put in yours. And this is not hard, but this is the hardest part. But it's not really that hard, guys, so don't let it scare you off. Now, for this, I've cut 2 pieces of cardstock, and it's the same white that I've made the card out of, and these are 1.5 inches wide by 3 1/8 inches long, and I'm going to score these at 1/2 inch on each end. Just flip it over and do 1/2 inch on both pieces. Now, I'm going to make a Z. I'm going to fold one side back and one side forward on those lines that I just scored, so it makes a little Z. Okay, I'm going to get the backing off the score tape, and we're going to put one towards the back of the box. And what I'm going to do is line up one of the flaps. Hope you can see this. My hand's in the way. I want to take it down just below the top of the box, and I'm going to hold that right there and make sure that's stuck. Move it down just a little bit. Now, can you see that? Then this side I'm going to take across like that, and then I'm going to fold it and just push down, and that way it will adhere. There we go. Now for the next one, I'll do the same thing, and I'm going to put that right about there. And that's where we're going to add our shamrocks. Now we've got our inserts in, and we're ready for our shamrocks. This one is on page 30 in the designer's calendar cartridge. I cut the green part right here, and then I came over here and cut the shadow out of white. And I've cut these in 4 sizes. I started with 1 inch, then 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/2 inch, and 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and take my 2-way glue pen and start getting my shamrocks on the shadows and get them ready to go inside my box. I've got all my shamrocks and shadows adhered together. Now to put these inside the box, I've cut 7 strips of cardstock, and these are 1/4 inch by 1 3/4 inches. And that's the way I put these inside, and because I use the same white as the inserts, you can't even see it. And this is where you want to be really careful about not letting them hang over too far. And I know that one's going to be okay because I'm going to close it just like that. So it's this side I want to be the most careful of. Now I've adhered these together with my 2-way glue pen. You can use glue dots, you can use your tape runner, you can use score tape, whatever you'd like to use, but I'm using the 2-way glue, and I think that's going to hold it just fine. And this first one I'm going to put on the front of the insert, just like this. And the next one that's going beside it, I'm going to put behind the insert, so they'll kind of overlap. Okay, I've got my first 2 shamrocks in, and we're going to check it. And we're good. So we know we don't want anything to go past either of these edges and we'll be fine. Now for my next row, I'm going to put a medium size and it's going to go in the center just like that. And you can see how kind of staggering them gives it a really nice look. So I'll go ahead and get this put on one of my strips. And this one is going to go behind, right in the center. And I'm going to keep putting all my little shamrocks in. And you can see I've already put 2 on the flaps. And I'll get this one stamped and get it on the front, and we'll be done with this cute little card in a box, or a box card. Here's my finished box card, or card in a box. I don't know who came up with this idea, but they are brilliant. This looks so hard and so intimidating, and you can see how quick and easy you can make one of these. It's just so much fun. Now on the front, I've stamped Luck of the Irish in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and that's from the Cardz TV St. Patrick's Day set. And I hope I can figure out how to stamp Happy St. Patrick's Day on the back, since I forgot to do it already. But I'll show you how it fits inside of an A2 envelope. Super simple. Just slides right in and ready to go out in the mail. So thank you so much for coming by today, guys. I've had fun, and I hope you have too. And now I've got 2 cards ready for St. Patrick's Day. Oh, and I wanted to tell you, right now there is a St. Patrick's Day 3D challenge going on over at my blog. That's cardstv.blogspot.com. The design team has done an awesome job. They have done so many cute and unique things for St. Patrick's Day. Please come by and check out what they've done and take the challenge, guys. You could make one of these and enter. The winner will be picked by random.org, and you'll get a set of Cardz TV stamps. So come on over and check it out. Thank you so much for coming by today. Thank you for your wonderful comments. And thank you for subscribing. And I will see you again soon with another card. Bye now.